Here we are in front of City Hall, this beautiful little white building in the middle of City Hall Park. And today we are doing a video of the Financial District. It starts right here at City Hall. City Hall was built with marble on three sides because who would ever go behind? The entire city goes to the front of City Hall. We'll tour some of the regions here. Go from World Trade Center, which has now been rebuilt, Freedom Tower, and a bunch of other buildings. We even have some remarks from Larry Silverstein, who was the developer of the original World Trade Center, the new World Trade Center, and now the Brooklyn Tower, as well as a bunch of other things. We'll see some of the newer developments, such as number 33 Park Row, a smaller building over there. 1 Wall Street, we have some footage on. 77 Greenwich. And I guess we have an apartment inside a resale, which is 99 John, an older building converted from an office building. 75 Wall Street, also a brand new condo, not brand new, but just redone. Used to be an old office building. And the South Street Seaport, which is very historical. That's where the ships came in back in the day. So take a look, see what you like, follow, subscribe, reach out to me with any questions and any inquiries about finding an apartment, a house here in Manhattan or anywhere in the world, especially in the country. We have affiliates all over. Christopher Butt with the Corcoran Group. Today we are in the Financial District. This is very famous, or rather very large new development. It's 150 William. You can see it's right behind me. There are quite a few of these new developments down here in the Financial District. Part of the thing with the Financial District is very narrow streets down here. This is the old New York. It was all developed well before, I guess, back in the 1700s. And so these streets tend to be very narrow, not much light coming in. Today is not a bright day either. So we're going to a barbecue or a Zen Garden of 99 John Street. That's another street here down in the Financial District. So it starts all the way over at City Hall. Park Row, I think we might have seen a few units at Park Row. There's the Woolworth building, which also has condominiums in it now. And the Fulton Street, which I'm standing right in front of a Fulton Street address, but I'm not quite on a side street, William Street, which goes downtown. So, well, I guess it goes up, but you can see a tiny little bit of the Municipal building there. We've got Gary by New York, which is a rental building, but by the famous Gary architect. And we are going to go to John Street, which is one down from Fulton. The nice thing about this area is that all the subways come together, so all means of transportation are easily accessed. Just because the island is so narrow down here. And we have also the Federal Reserve. And I think I did a little quick walk past Wall Street the other day with the Federal Building, which was, I believe, the first Capitol. It was definitely where George Washington had his government for a while in New York City before, I think, Philadelphia, then obviously Washington, D.C. So here we are on John Street. John Street has, again, a very narrow area. I look for 99 John. Looks like the numbers go up to my right, but the water, well, the seaport is to my left. There's also water. Financial, the One World Trade Center over there. Let's see if we can cut in here. It's so cloudy today, you can't even see I can see it, but not on the video. So we will look for 99 John. You can see a lot of, it used to be a very cheap district here because a lot of government offices. So there would be a lot of stores that cater to government officials who lived in, sort of middle class areas in Queens and Brooklyn and Staten Island and commute in. This is the Manhattan Business Center, 66 John, for the Department of Finance. The Department of Finance is very, very important when you consider anything to do with property taxes. Of course, there's also the Department of Buildings does the physical part, and the Department of Finance assesses the property, charges the taxes, and you get to see a lot of details. At one point, we will do a little session on government sites. Suited. Oh, okay. How many people are actually wearing suits? No one. Used to be the Financial District here. All offices, Wall Street, trading firms. Wall Street obviously started out as a street with a wall, then turned into the stock exchange. Like mostly tourists over there. A lot of students from Pace University, which has a big existence down here. And here we are at another subway entrance. I think somewhere I did show the Calatrava designed Oculus, but even that is covered in fog today. Let's see if we can find, this is Nassau Street. How exciting. Nassau Street used to be just a pedestrian street. Looks like nobody's going to get through there, but I don't know what it is today. Some of these old shops that used to be for, as I said, very low-priced items are closed. You can't afford to pay the rent. Subway entrance there. So you can see this is nothing too fancy on this particular street, John Street. But you go, block this way or that way, or you'll find hotel bars and newer, very high-end establishments. It's quite a mix. And we're still looking for John Street. Well, we're still looking for 99 John Street. Maybe went the wrong direction. But we are going to get to see a little section here close to the World Trade Center. So that's Space University. That's one of the buildings. And look at this old building here. Used to house a very famous French restaurant. But no more. Christian Science Reading Room. It's the entrance here. Wells Fargo. And PNC. A lot of banks here, being the Financial District. Here we are at Broadway. There is the little old church, which is part of the Trinity Parish. So down here, it's hundreds and hundreds of years old. Tombstones, which are wiped off. This, again, I believe I mentioned at one point, is a very famous building because of these pillars throughout the lobby, used in many, many movies. There used to be a really nice cafeteria in there. I'm not sure if that still exists. And a little bit of the Oculus. Part of the transit state center. It's got shops. I believe I showed you the inside of that earlier. And big hub for not just all the different subways, but I believe the PATH train and a few other things. Now it's looking downtown. So let's go back the other way on John Street to find 99 John. Also on Broadway here, you have 1 Wall Street, which I have some videos of a new development. There used to be an old bank, Irving Trust. All right, so this is one of the cons of New York City, these narrow streets. Once you get a little bit of construction, take away a sidewalk on the other side, you have to walk on this side. I believe that's a subway exit, which we could not exit. Oh, look, we got a gym right in here. That's nice. And this is 100 William. Very cool building. Got this passageway and a lot of shops. There used to be a nice chocolate shop. I don't know if that's here anymore. It looks like it's a gym now. Office buildings. Well, they also have a certain number of these fast food restaurants. A lot of them on Wall Street, but distributed throughout. And you get the occasional, Tajikistan or some very interesting cuisine embedded in here. Jubilee is actually a very nice supermarket. What? Residence, $4.25, but it's in the Zen Garden.
The Zen Garden?
It's a barbecue. Look at it. Open it up. Other side. Summer barbecue party.
Well, I look totally fit for this, but...
There you go. Summer barbecue.
Okay, it's right across the street.
99 John. 99 John. See, I ran into you at the right moment. I tried to run into you, and you tried to avoid me. I can't believe you.
Oh, no.
Ran away.
Oh, my God. No, I'm just always on my phone. I'm just like, what?
I hope this isn't spoiling my lens here, all this spritzing. I don't know. The company is DJI. So these are all old office buildings that were converted. All right, let's get in the elevator. Condos and lofts, but we're going to the Zen Garden. Here we are. 5th floor. Where are we headed? This is very nice. In the middle of everything. Wow. Tall buildings. That's 99 John. And that's 150 William up there. And more people with cameras. Look at this. Picnic in the middle of everywhere. These are skylights. Burgers. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
It's a cute closet.
So you have a alternate floor plan here that you can also grab. It sinks out. It sinks out, which is not what I thought it was. But usually. If you walled off this office area that you saw when we walked in, if you put a wall, and then you have the large bedroom in the front of the apartment.
All right, so this is a apartment with 2 home office type areas. Both can be used as bedroom, but cannot be called bedrooms because they do not have their own windows. But the living room here is very large and extensive. You do get a lot of light, just not while you're sleeping. You look out on the street here, I believe. Is this John Street? Not sure. The building is 99 John Street.
Right. Yep. Which is why we are only asking. It was converted in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm.
Roof deck at 99 John Street. This is a little shower over here. There is the Freedom Tower, like she said, right behind me. And we are surrounded by buildings, Financial District. That's how it works. New building coming up over here. Cabanas. Pretty interesting. A little wet today. Beautiful views of the bridges. The Brooklyn Bridge over here and the Manhattan Bridge. And one Manhattan place. $150 William. Yeah. It looks like somebody's roof deck. Yeah, it's like a building's roof deck. It's a lot of chairs for a private roof deck. A little bit of Midtown.
Right?
Chrysler Building. There you have it, the roof deck on 99 John Street. We're in a little alley here in the Financial District, right off Fulton Street. And as you can see behind me is the Excelsior Power Company, 1888. Well, yes, there's a lot of history here. Probably one of the very first electrical power generator systems areas. And you see all these little things as you move along through the city. There's always history to be had on every corner. So this is right off Fulton, between Fulton and Shaw. Just a little walk through some of the old streets here at the South Street Seaport. This cobblestone area is actually pretty wide here. This is the widest part, and plenty of stores. This is it's in the middle of the street. They built this sort of shed here for bar drinking. It's been a rainy day, so not many people out today. It's also not a weekend, but we'll get a feel for some of the older buildings here and why it's called Seaport. All cobblestone streets. People do live in the area. Seems a little quiet right now. As I said, not one of the main attractions like it used to be years ago. And it is a rainy day, or has been a rainy day. These are very old buildings. It's some maybe from the 1700s. And this was a thriving seaport. New York was, as many cities in the world, thrived on the shipping industry well before air traffic or satellites or Amazon were devised. You can see a lot of the old signs either there or been restored. That is the highway there, the FDR. You look up and down, that's the Gehry building, Frank Gehry. It is a rental building here in the Financial District. A more modern building stuck in between some of these ancient buildings. Bars, restaurants, cafes, Jack's Coffee. Not there any longer. It's like it's a little quiet, except when the cars roll by. Cobblestones or flagstones. Oh, ice cream shop, that's nice. I think there was a nice cafe over here on the corner. So we're coming up on Beck Slip. Beck Slip sort of further north. It's part of the seaport here. And Beck Slip Social seems to be a thriving whiskey, bourbon, rye. Well, very quiet right now. Like I said, it's not a weekend.
Much appreciated.
Good thing we're not bumping into a lot of people. That's a little tour of, it goes a little further north too. The Seaport District. One of the big attractions down here in the Financial District is actually the South Street Seaport. It's a very, very historic area. Ships came in here. As you can see, there's a museum for a lot of the tall ships, and there is also South Street Museum, which has a lot of the history on the old houses that were here. They're still here. Plenty of old buildings going north of me into these cobblestone streets, stone walls, and a lot of character, many of them from the maybe 1700s. But there's a lot of new stuff around. As you can see behind me is the new Pier 17. I used to enjoy the old Pier 17, which was a much prettier structure. And they have a rooftop space now where they can have musical events. We did have a real estate event there a couple of years ago for City Snap, and they have a lot of public events out on the pier here. especially 4th of July fireworks. So I think they might have them the day before. But as you can see, I have a lot of tall buildings behind me, some of the largest spaces for offices and so on and so forth. Many of them being converted or have been converted, just like the building we saw on John Street, 75 Wall Street, have been converted from office buildings to residential apartments, lofts, etc. We also have other new buildings. Well, there is a building that was converted from 1 Wall Street into condominiums. That was an old bank building, but they've added on additional. And 77 Greenwich, which is a ground up, brand new building. So we have all types of condominium units in the Financial District area. We saw some very narrow streets, which is why we have building codes now in Upper Manhattan, because down here there's very little light between the old building. But once you get out here, you're on a boardwalk pretty much, and it extends pretty far down, pier after pier after pier, a lot of restaurants on the walk, restaurants out in the piers. You have water taxis from here, from Wall Street, not far away, to various parts of the city, and even all the way to Seabright, New Jersey. So quite a thriving area. Here we are in front of the Tin Building. Tin Building is part of the South Street Seaport. Its modern form. Many years ago, I used to come here for lunch when I worked for the city, and I called it my half-hour vacation or 1-hour vacation when people came here from all over the world. It was one of the attractions of New York City. Now there are many, many, many attractions. But the Tin Building was not an attraction. It was the Fulton Fish Market. It stank to high heaven. The fish there was always fresh every day, but could you imagine washing fish and the water sort of coming out here onto the street, and not a very pleasant smell on the way to lunch over there at Pier 17, which of course has not been completely redone now. So this area is nothing like it was. Still on the water, still got some old buildings around the South Street Seaport, but nothing like it was decades ago. It was mostly destroyed by Sandy, I think. That was their reason for putting in all new buildings. Here we have some very fancy hotel, bar, restaurants. This is part of the Beekman Street Hotel, 5 Beekman. Temple Court, another bar room. The Financial District, these are very, very high-end. Again, these narrow alleys. This is Theater Alley. Who knows if there's a theater? Maybe there is. This is 33 Park Row. We've seen videos from there. Penthouse 1, Penthouse 3, and a bunch of other apartments that are available there. Here we have the Woolworth building, 1913, tallest building in the world. Lights were switched on by the President of the United States in 1913 from Washington, D.C. Technological wonder. Well, I don't have the light, but there is no traffic. That's the Municipal building there. Houses a lot of the city government, although it's all over the place. It used to be the entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge. This is City Hall Park. There's always a new art exhibit that they put up in all these places. It's an old fountain that was recovered back during the turn of the century, this century. So around 2000, these art pieces were not here. These are just this year. And they just turned this fountain on for the year. They have gas lights. They're not on right now. They might hopefully will come on in the evening. And as I said, they found this sections of the fountain somewhere in a different location. Fence was recreated from the previous era, and back there is City Hall. Can't see very much of it. Let's see if we can get up a little closer. The best views were from 33 Park Row, but this used to be an old post office in this area. Huge old post office. Never saw it, all before my time. But that was taken down, and as I said, around 2000, this fountain was rediscovered and re-erected from very old sections, and then the gas lighting. Before electricity, we had gas. Hey folks, I'm here in front of the classic Trinity Church. It's an old church here. It's been cleaned up and pretty famous. Right down here at the beginning of Wall Street, which is the Financial District. This is 1 Wall Street behind me, which used to be a bank and is now a modern condominium. Still selling sponsor apartments in there. They opened up Whole Foods and a Lifetime gym there. And they're also going to open a very fancy French department store called Printemps. Let's see, let's take a look here. So This is Wall of New Amsterdam. And this is where the printemps is going to be. It's a beautiful ceiling in there. It's all Art Deco. This was created during the Depression by a very famous artist. And I do have videos of the whole thing at some point, various parts of the building, as well as some of the apartments. Walking down Wall Street. Can't really do a random walk because it's all walled off here. That's the New York Stock Exchange. It used to be only office buildings, and a lot of them have been converted to residentials. Obviously an Equinox Sports Club in there. Still have the Stock Exchange here. This is Federal Hall, one of the first points of the government of the United States back in the 1700s. So I would say some of these buildings here have been converted to condominiums. There's George Washington up there, Federal Hall, a lot of rental buildings, condos, and one of the buildings I worked in extensively, you can sort of see at the end there, is 75 Wall Street, which again was an old office building, converted, I want to say 15 or not quite 20 years ago, to brand new condominiums. So what they do is rip out the office part, put in a whole new core. Now, since the buildings are bigger than normal residential buildings, they have all this space, so they go from the corridor through a long apartment. They create a home office, which has no windows, and that they get into the main part of the apartment. So slightly different layout. Here's the Trump building, one of them. This is where he made a lot of money, bought it in bankruptcy, foreclosure, and still owns it. We got Tiffany over here. A little different, some shopping on Wall Street. 45 is rental. Now, also down in this area, everything's sort of squished together. So I just came off the 4 train, that's the east side, and believe it or not, the west side trains are to the east of that, the 2 and 3. And then you have NRQ, W. Now this is a very interesting place here. This was converted from a bank into a banquet hall, 55 Wall Street. Cipriani's is again the vendor here. It used to be a little chocolate shop. I guess it's gone, but they do have some very fancy events at 55 Wall. They do have like a balcony up there in the good weather. People dine out there. We had some of our very first holiday parties here when I joined the business back in the early 2000s. It was like a long time ago. This was a building that was originally built by JP Morgan, but I think it's been purchased by Deutsche Bank. Landmark back in the day. One of the newer buildings on Wall Street. They were trying to show that they were sticking up for the city. See very narrow streets here. Very old construction. These buildings were all built where other buildings existed before. And eventually, because of these narrow alleyways and the lack of light and air, the city brought in zoning laws. So you can't build like this anymore. And further uptown, there are setbacks so that there's more air and space and light for the buildings. So we do have some fine restaurants here, a lot of sort of chain restaurants, and even some trucks. Sweet Green, they're all chain brands. Joe and the Juice. It's one of my preferred locations. Cool, calm, and caffeinated because it's spacious and you can just sit in there and work like those people down there. So this is actually 75 Wall Street, also Hyatt-centric. All in the same building, certain number of floors, up to 18, I believe, our hotel. We have separate entrances, separate amenities. 75 Wall Street also has a beautiful roof deck, indoor and outdoor, with views all around. But I am looking for 100 Wall Street, because that's where I'm going right now. It's like a ton of construction going on around here. So we're getting closer and closer to the water. This is the East River, and you can see the FDR up there. This bus clears. That's the highway on the east side, and beyond that you see boats flying back and forth. There's a lot of open air restaurants. A little more popular in the summer, obviously, than in the winter. Maybe if we have a chance, we can take a little walk. So this is a rental building here, 95 Wall Street, and condos can be rented too. So if the owner wants to rent it and go through the board process. So I think I might be going here. Yes, to be continued. So you come into the dining room, okay.
So I'll just go that way because Greenwich that way. No making fun of me. Did not match with what you said earlier at all.
Hello house, balconies.
Got it.
So a lot of coats in there. Wow. At least a space for a lot of coats. This does have pocket doors. So you can close off your dining room.
So what would you like to see next? The co-working space.
A very bright bathroom. And a nice corner on the primary bedroom here. Very large closet. I guess this is part of the primary suite. This door here. It's amazing, the seating area.
So elegant. She's like from Switzerland and.
Should I just say nothing?
Thank you. Yes. Do you want to go outside here? There's an outside area here.
Explore, make yourselves at home, step out onto the terrace if you so desire.
Oh, there I am. Oh. Well, look at that sheep. It's not moving. Okay. Ooh, nice dressing room. Come over here and see the whole church.
So you have coat closet. Yeah, this one has one.
What the price?
This one is 2.2. Yes. S-O-N-D-E-R.
装的 hotel。喂，你走了，你回来了。你看哪套了？Long term stay。看了那个4号。
39A is
生完孩子都瘦了10磅。对呀、这是为啥呢？
It's a nice office.
yeah.
一睁开眼睛，就看见了。我妈帮我
Public school from pre-K to their entrance is on the other side on Trinity Place. So these 2 floors are mechanical floors. We have a living super. The resident manager's unit is here. And this townhouse is landmarked building. It's part of the school. The residences start from the 15th floor all the way to the top. 42 stories.
42.
Yeah. So this is our penthouse. That's the only unit that has outdoor terrace. And then above the penthouse is the cloud club that we just saw. And then on the roof there is a outdoor kitchen with 2 barbecue grill. So for that 4 units, and every unit is stand. So if you stand here, there's a dining room, see-through fireplace. There's also TV.
3 years is not a very long time. This was a yoga room at one point. Multi-purpose.
I mean, the main difference is, so like, a conforming product conforms, the term conforming comes from. The number 1 guideline is 76, like 800, something like oddball, is automatically not a conforming law. Then you also have, or finite in the budget, so conforming retail, 51%. Non-conforming is the fast now. That's why you see, anything else, you see a lot of that. You have to be versed in the non-conforming, non-normative. You can ask me questions to that. Yeah, I do have a confusion out there. Where from a second home, it's like so different. It's like, I don't really have anything to do with paper, it's nice, but it's just another thing for people to be aware of because it helps people make a decision. Especially if you're looking at rent that's rising.
They just split. It was easier for them to split us and then just have us because it was a big line. How are you gonna do it? Because we are the most
That's the upstairs.
Nice to see you again.
Likewise.
I met you in Williamsburg, do you remember?
Nice little nook. Is this a hotel over there? Oh.
Gary, nice to meet you. I heard you were making a visiting appearance, so thank you. That's it.
What do we have on this side? Walk-in closet with a Woolworth building. Isn't that amazing? 1913, tallest building in the world. There's a lovely bathroom. It's open but not open. You close off the doors and closet has the window. I don't want to dress in the window, but lots of curtains.
What is it right now? Do you know?
It's an office building.
That's an office building.
Yeah. Yeah, most of this place down here was all office buildings. All right, we're now downtown Manhattan, Financial District. A lot of office buildings here. Very historic building with these pillars. A movie shot in there. Century 21 used to be once a very, very famous department store for tourists and went out during the pandemic, but it's back just in this location. We are going to Greenwich. And here is the Calatrava. That's the architect, a Spanish architect. It's the transit center for the Fulton. It's got a Jenga building over there, the Four Seasons, and 10 Barclay. Right behind is the Woolworth building. The Oculus is what it's called. Designed by Calatrava, Spanish architect. A little too expensive for most Spanish towns, but we managed here in New York. This is right by the former World Trade Center, the Freedom Tower, 9/11 Memorial and Museum. There's a new performing arts center here, Perlman Performing Arts. And there, of course, is the Freedom Tower. A lot of people posing here. Where's Josanna? Oh, there she is. Interesting sculptures. The W. Another W hotel here. So this is the Financial District. So there's a Westfield Mall inside there. It extends into the World Trade Center over there. This whole area is shopping. Park Row over there, where we were at 33 Park Row the other day. It bisected the Oculus. Oh, here it is. Reflecting tools. Former One World Trade Center. This is the World Financial Center area. Still stands. So the Hudson River, Four Seasons, Leonard, Empire State Building. There we are, close as I can get. That's 1 Center Street, right by City Hall. It's way down there. Here, other bridges. Brooklyn, Manhattan Bridges, Gary Building, and Park Row Buildings, Woolworth Building, which is right there.
Yes, last month you canceled it. You cannot cancel it when you got to go, and you gotta go today. Now, at that time, we were only married 45 years. Today it's almost 69 years, but nevertheless, that time is 45 years. When you're married to somebody for 45 years, and she gets upset, I always say, okay, sweetheart, stop. Okay, don't get upset. If it works, yes, dear, I'll do whatever you want, but don't get upset. So, that's it, my life. So, we're here today just without her insisting on the double talk. Things are very good. First, acquired the Twin Towers. There were, I think, 15,000 people living in Lower Manhattan. Today, 70,000 people live in Lower Manhattan.
Here we are at the beginning of the Financial District. We just had a little look at City Hall up there and gave you a little introduction of what we're going to see in Financial District. This is the fountain that's in City Hall Park, originally reconstructed. That's an original fountain, but it was taken down when there was a post office here. It says on the stone that it was demolished in 1939. Well, around 2000, they found these pieces of the fountain. They redid the perimeter wall from original metal and reconstructed a historic space here in City Hall Park. To the south of City Hall Park, and also a little bit to the east, and maybe a little bit to the west is more Tribeca, is the Financial District. So we will see buildings here in the Financial District, new developments such as 1 Wall Street, 77 Greenwich, number 33 Park Row, which looks down right here on City Hall Park and City Hall, and South Street Seaport, as well as have a little introduction or some words from the developer of the World Trade Center, Larry Silverstein, the developer of the Brooklyn Tower, the original World Trade Center, and 94-year-old man, I believe. So stay tuned, take a look, follow, subscribe to my channel so you get updates, and reach out to me with questions. And if you'd like to move here or anywhere in the United States, we do have affiliates all over the country and in some other countries. Christopher Butt here with the Corcoran Group.